Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Alan Halas. I'm a music writer.
And I am Jim Love, and I'm a keynote and motivational speaker, and I put my phone down.
Really okay.
Quick. But we're happy to be here.
We're happy to be here. It's a new year.
It is.
It's going to be a big year for Hustling Sideways.
It's going to be a huge year.
We got a lot of things coming that are going to be really, really great.
More excited.
At the start of every year, Jim introduced me to something a few years back, and I think that's kind of the genesis for this podcast.
It is. It is. So it actually, funny you said, that's absolutely what the genesis
I just
of the
thought of that
show
now.
is. I didn't realize that until you just said that. So there is several people in this world, some famous writers and speakers, and then me, which is none of the above, but who do, instead of a New Year's resolution, which is, lose 5 pounds or do this, do that, and then you inevitably just don't do it.
Yeah.
They pick one word to focus on. And so since 2021, the origin of this show, I've always picked one word. And now Alan and I both do that. And it's really a way to center yourself, to and I take it pretty seriously, right? To really get that word and then have it be reverberating throughout your year. Last year I chose the word relentless.
Yep.
And I think I did it pretty well. I was relentless about a bunch of different things. And so we try to do that now. And so we are here to share our one word with you all. And we encourage you seriously to do it.
I will say I remember this more than a New Year's resolution.
I love it. Yeah.
Literally focused on this all year long. My word for last year was refine. And really did actually take that to heart. To just focus on that one thing. Refine down to the stuff that I know I do best, the stuff that I enjoy doing the most about my side hustle.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yes.
It really, I am amazed at how much it works.
I love it. Yes.
And actually, it is all down to it.
Do you want to kick it off for 2025?
Sure. All right. So I'm picking one word for 2025. My word for this year, I was between two. I was very close.
Same.
I'm going with execute as my word for this year.
Excellent.
And so,
don't mind me.
I'm going with execute for my one word for 2025. What happens every year is I get all these big, great ideas around this time of year. I absolutely love New Year's because it's a clean slate and I can get all these business, from a business sense, I really love being able to be like, all right, this is going to be the year. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to do all this stuff. I have this plan, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do 3 months of content to start at once or whatever, right? And then summer happens, and I get really crazy busy with summer, or I get burnt out, or something happens where I just stop working on some of the side hustle things, or things just stop getting developed.
Life happens in that
happens,
way. Yeah.
So basically, my word for this year is execute, and I got a little bit of a head start on it this year.
Awesome. You executed.
Yes. So I kind of shut down again like I did last year.
I remember that.
Towards the end of the year where I was just like, there's just so much going on. I just need to focus on getting stuff done. So I spent October through December really building systems for things to be like, okay, I know, this is an example, but our podcast needs to put out clips all the time in order to be consistent, folks. Right? And the word I was almost at was consistent. Okay. I almost went there because it was the same kind of principle, but I was like, you can also be consistent, and I consistently have failed at this every year, right? So I've consistently dropped off the last couple of years at the end of the year and been not seeing the finish line on stuff,
Yep.
So I built systems for myself for this year to not only put out way more content. You're going to get a ton of Hustling Sideways content.
It's already, whether you like it or not,
it's already scheduled out. You are getting it into the fourth quarter of next year.
Absolutely.
I have systems in place that I can start building out regular content for my website, regular content for my day job.
So you're getting some shit done.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is the goal for this year, is to actually execute on all these things that I say I want to do.
Good for you.
And nailing it, and there's no more playing around.
I'm envisioning you on your computer and being execute, let's go. And I don't know if you watch the show Lost at all. One of the best shows of all time. But they literally have to type in there's
command.
A command is called execute. That's
okay.
If you haven't watched Lost, by the way, it's on Netflix. Well, I'm rewatching it right now.
Maybe if I execute enough, I'll have time to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I love it.
That's the other part of it too for me too, is I know that when I get so bogged down with things, it literally creates a void where I don't have time to go do some of the free stuff because I'm too busy working on things. So I'm how do I avoid that?
Yeah,
how do I give myself more time back?
It's a really good word.
So execute is my word for this year.
Awesome.
Jim, drum roll.
I was also between two.
Okay.
And I picked intentional.
Ooh.
And the other one I picked was going to pick, and actually this was on a walk with my dog for an hour, and I was going through them, was forward, but intentional just felt a little bit different. So when I say that, I tend to be way too much of a people pleaser, where I'm constantly trying to do stuff for folks, or like, like what else can I do? What else can, and like way too like on my phone too often. And this year I want to be way more intentional about where I spend my time, how I operate with like my clients, where I'm speaking, and be specific about it. And in the sense like, and I, that it sounds maybe like abstract, but I really want to be strategic and intentional about like where I'm at. Like I literally a third one I could put out there is the word be, like just be. And I thought about that one as well, but being really intentional about being present, about where I'm spending my time, about who I'm with, about the type of vibe I'm putting out there. And instead of just trying, like, I think I'm trying to grasp for straws too much and just like, let's just do it all. And like have so much fun and it'll be great. And then being intentional about like setting up boundaries for myself and some mental health things, right? Like I really want to be intentional about what I'm doing and where I'm approaching to make sure that I'm setting myself up for success. So the reason why forward was it was this close to being it. And I just thought it was like not applicable to everything, but I wanted to move forward in terms of like some things that's keeping me from going and getting things done. Like there's a few like just stuff in my head where I have to kind of move forward. But that felt good at the time, but like intentional just felt like it was more all encompassing. And so when I'm being intentional, like that's where am I spending my time speaking? Like where am I best served? Let's say that. Like is it at a conference? Is it at a school? Like is it with employee? Like where should that be? And intentional about the types of messages I'm putting out. Like does this revert back to where I'm supposed to be? Those types of things. And then and then just really intentional about like how I'm supporting my clients I work with, like who am I trying to reach out to and why? Like to not cast as wide of a net, to be really specific and intentional about those folks. So as I was walking and like reflecting on this was like a couple Sundays ago. And usually when I take my dog for a long walk, that's when this happens. I don't bring my phone. I just like go and walk and just be right. And that was the word that kept coming up as I was reflecting. I'm like, I just need to be a lot more intentional. So I don't truly know like what that will mean or where it will go. I just really love the word, and I'm like, I think I can really focus on that. And so when I'm like at night trying to do something, I'm like, is this really like worth my time? Like I gotta be intentional about where I'm at. Should I go downstairs and like be there? Should I go for a walk? And just be really specific and intentional about those things. I think that will be a big help. So that's going to be something that like each time I make a decision that's deep or shallow, whatever it might be, I really want intentional to be reverberating and have that be my theme going into this year.
I like that a lot. That's a good word for this year. So intentional and execute. You guys can hold us to that.
Please do. If you feel like we're not being intentional or we're not executing, let us know. We want to know.
I think we were definitely going to be executing. Like I said, there's going to be so many things just from our podcast standpoint that are going to be more great. It is going to be more consistent than it had previously been,
and it'll be very like, and that does, and the word intentional does also come back to this too. Like when we're interviewing people, be intentional about like listening and responsive, like those types of things, and who we're going to have on, like does that make sense for our community of people that we have here? So those types, but we want to know what your word is, and I think this is a really cool practice. I really encourage you to do it because it obviously.
I will say as a recent convert to this in recent years, it is it works. It just works.
It truly does. Like it's kind of, it sounds like cliche, but the minute you take out like what you have to do, like just have that thing and let that thing guide you and really take it seriously. And there's no wrong answer. It's your word. Like it can be whatever you want, and like put some thought around it and then commit to it and watch what happens.
Take a day, think on some words, pick something out and go with it. But tell us what your one word is, because we're going to hold you to it too, right?
That's right. Yeah.
In the meantime, you're going to see a ton of us in 2025. We are very excited. I'm hyped for the new year. We are locked in. I don't know if we can pay for that song. Not when you sing it. Well, not when you sing it, it's fine. I think we just can't use it.
I'll just be quiet. Finish it out, Alan. Everyone here stinks.
We're also gonna have a bunch of fun this year, so make sure we do that too. Make sure you do that as well too. We're the Hustling Sideways podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I'm being intentional about how fast I go about this. YouTube, all of these things. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, we have an email. It's hustlingsideways@gmail.com. And Jim,
keep on hustling.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Peace.